Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
This morning, Florida is starting to clean up after Hurricane Ian.
Stand 100% with my county commissioner, my county manager.
Why Florida emergency officials are now having to defend their actions when it comes to evacuations.
Outside with live cam, it was the best of both worlds this weekend. We had chilly mornings, warm afternoons. What does the weekend hold? Rather, work week hold. Let's talk to Mike in a moment. Good morning, everybody. It is a Monday. Let's get rolling. It is October 3rd.
Good morning. You still on weekend mode, Mark?
I still am in undoubtedly weekend mode.
Well, it's a good mode to be in.
Yes, it is. You enjoy this weekend?
It was beautiful, and it was beautiful outside. I put out my Halloween decorations, Mike.
You did.
Perfect timing,
Yay.
right? Mike Ostrich joins us. Good morning.
Good morning. Beautiful. Yeah, it was fantastic. Saturday, plenty of sunshine yesterday. Started off very cool, 50, some of the coolest we've had in months, and then those high clouds moved on in. They'll be sticking around today, but yeah, still, it was just a fantastic weekend. Today, we are starting off on the pleasant to cool side. We've got some low mid 60s in around the metropolitan area, low and mid 50s in parts of the hill country. So yeah, jacket's a pretty good idea, and no, you won't need it by this afternoon. We still have fairly dry air in place, but these numbers, dew points, are going to be going up as the week goes on. It's not like it's going to be summertime humidity, but you'll notice it more as we get into the mid and latter portion of the week. Mold's moderate, ragweed is also on the moderate side. I do have an ozone action day in effect today for the metropolitan area and going up I-35 in toward Austin. This morning, we will continue to drop down a couple of more notches. We do have some clouds out there, and then we'll keep a lot of kind of mid-high clouds around with some sunshine thrown in, make it up to 85. That's pretty much a normal high temperature, but these numbers also, high temperatures, are going to be going up as the week rolls on. We'll take a look ahead, see if there's anything as far as any rain out there, and never too soon to start looking ahead to the next weekend. Details in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. New this morning, San Antonio's police chief says an SAPD officer shot a suspect after that suspect hit him with a car. It happened around 10:45 last night in the 11,700 block of Blanco and West Avenue on the north side. Chief William McManus says the officer was responding to a disturbance at a McDonald's. When the officer tried to approach the suspect on foot, the chief says the suspect hit the officer in the legs with his vehicle. SAPD says the officer then started shooting at the suspect, hitting him multiple times. The suspect was taken to a hospital. The officer has been on duty for 1 year. This morning, at least 85 people are reported dead after Hurricane Ian struck the west coast of Florida. It was one of the strongest storms ever to hit that area.
As CNN's Amy Kiley reports, Florida's emergency officials are standing by their efforts to evacuate people from the storm's path.
I wouldn't have changed anything.
The death toll from Hurricane Ian is rising, especially around Fort Myers, Florida. Lee County officials ordered evacuations less than 24 hours before landfall. That was a day after some neighboring counties and 2 days after storm surge warnings.
Everyone wants to focus on a plan that might have been done differently. Well, I'm going to tell you, I stand 100% with my county commissioners, my county manager.
Governor Ron DeSantis points out earlier forecasts had centered on Tampa.
It's easy to second guess them, but they were ready for the whole time and made that call when it was justifiable to do so.
He also notes Lee County residents could have gone to shelters.
They informed people, and most people did not want to do it. I mean, that's just the reality. Good luck.
Senator Rick Scott of Florida was the state's governor through several hurricanes. He says it's important to evaluate the emergency response to each major storm.
As we go through this, we'll find out, is there things that we could do better to make sure we don't lose people's lives?
For now, many Floridians are just focusing on what they have left.
I lost my boat, I lost everything I had, but save 3 guys is worth it.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, we hope you will help us extend a helping hand to those touched by the devastation of Hurricane Ian. Later today, we will be hosting a phone bank in partnership with the Red Cross to raise money for relief efforts in Florida. The phone lines will be open from noon to 7 p.m. We'll share that number a little later on.
A woman who is accused of recruiting migrants from Texas to fly to Martha's Vineyard has been officially identified as Perla Huerta. Back in September, we told you about the League of United Latin American Citizens, or LULAC, offering a $5,000 reward for information on a woman named Perla. Well, last month, About 50 Venezuelan migrants were flown from Texas to the Massachusetts resort town using Florida taxpayer funds. According to the New York Times, Huerta is a former combat medic and counterintelligence agent, recently discharged after 2 decades in the U.S. Army. One migrant says that the woman offered him food, clothes, and money in exchange to find others willing to fly to Massachusetts. In June, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis set aside $12 million to transport unauthorized migrants out of the Sunshine State, but shortly after, the money was being used here in San Antonio to round up asylum seekers.
Pittsburgh police detectives are investigating the death of a football fan after the Steelers game this weekend. A man died after apparently falling off an escalator at the stadium just after the game against the New York Jets. Paramedics worked to save the man on site, and he was taken to a local hospital in critical condition. According to Pittsburgh police, the man later died from his injuries. The stadium has a capacity of more than 68,000 and is home to both the Steelers and the University of Pittsburgh football teams.
3 U.S. postal workers have been arrested in a $1.3 million fraud and identity theft scheme. The Justice Department is accusing the postal employees and a civilian accomplice of stealing credit cards in the mail. According to the DOJ, the credit cards were then used at a variety of high-end retail stores in New York and New Jersey. The DOJ says 5 other individuals involved in fraud and identity theft schemes still haven't been caught. The suspects could get lengthy prison sentences if found guilty. Right now, 436, 64 degrees.
The young San Antonio Spurs lose in their first game against the Houston Rockets last night. Hear what Coach Pop had to say about their loss.
Outside with our traffic authority and with the help of TransGuide cameras, very light traffic at Highway 281 in San Pedro. There's Highway 90 at Military and 37 at Southeast Military.
Taking a look outside with live cam, 64 degrees at 437. Was able to set up my Halloween decorations this weekend because it was not humid. But is that humidity creeping back into our forecast this week? Mike will let us know when we come back.
Our San Antonio Spurs kicked off their 2022 preseason last night in Houston against the Rockets without Keldon Johnson and Josh Primo, both nursing injuries. Spurs used some great ball movement right out of the gate. Trey Jones finding Josh Richardson, who finds Devin Vassell, and he dishes to Jakob Poeltl for the bucket. We're tied at 4. Late in the first, Poeltl comes up with a steal, gets it ahead to Vassell for the layup in transition. Vassell had a team-high 13, but the Spurs trailed 30-17 after 1. Malachi Branham had the best showing of any rookie with 10 points, but the Rockets have this one in hand by halftime. And here is your final score for game 1 of the preseason. The Spurs lose 134-96. San Antonio is now 0-1 in the preseason.
Going back in transition defense all the time, all kinds of bad things are going to happen. You just can't do it over and over and over again with the missed shots. That was the worst part of the game. The second thing was physicality. We let them go where they wanted to go. They were much more physical.
I feel like we always just overthinking, and I was just telling them, just play, just play basketball, just be free.
Next, the Spurs welcome the Orlando Magic to the AT&T Center on Thursday at 7 p.m. Then New Orleans comes to town on Sunday.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Michael Gallup was in the starting lineup at the AT&T Stadium yesterday when Dallas hosted their NFC East rival, the Washington Commanders. Taking to the second quarter, 6-0 Cowboys. Commanders finished the drive. Carson Wentz connecting with Jahan Dotson in the end zone for this 10-yard score. 7-6 Commanders, less than 2 minutes to play in the half. Cooper Rush finds Michael Gallup for his first touchdown of the season. The extra point was blocked. Cowboys lead 12-7 at the half. Fourth quarter now, 15-10 Cowboys when Rush finds Lamb wide open, this 30-yard touchdown. Cowboys lead 22-10. Time for the Trayvon Diggs show. Fourth down for Washington. Diggs knocks the ball away in the end zone, keeps Washington from scoring. Next Commanders drive, Wentz already had an interception throws, but it's picked up by Deron Bland. In the end, Cooper Rush becomes the first Cowboys starting quarterback ever to win his first 4 games. Cowboys win it 25-10. Next week, Dallas travels to L.A. to take on the Rams. Kickoff is Sunday at 3:25. Texans looking to get their first win of the season at home, facing the 1-2 Chargers. L.A. built a big early lead. Chargers up 21-0 in the second quarter when Dameon Pierce breaks off a 75-yard touchdown run to put Houston on the board. It's 21-7 Chargers. L.A. would lead 27-7 at the half. Into the third, Davis Mills finds Rex Burkhead for the 8-yard touchdown. 27-14 Chargers after 3. Fourth quarter, Mills finds Brandon Cooks for this 18-yard touchdown. Chargers lead is down to 6. Texans would actually cut it down to 3, but the Chargers slammed the door shut. Herbert finds Austin Eckler for their second touchdown connection of the day. Texans lose again, 34-24. Next week, they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that's a look at morning sports.
Go Cowboys. All right, 443 and 64 degrees. A New York Times senior political reporter says former President Trump once floated the idea of firing his own daughter Ivanka and son-in-law Jared Kushner. What the reporter's new book says stopped him.
And a big grand opening for Morgan's Wonderland, with the park's new 165,000-foot expansion is doing to provide even more services to people that need it most.
A New York Times reporter who has covered Donald Trump for almost 2 decades has now written a book on the former president. ABC's Terry Moran has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a first look inside the new bombshell book. Maggie Haberman, the New York Times senior political reporter, has written a biography of Donald Trump, Confidence Man, which dives deep into the inner workings of the Trump administration and what motivated him during his 4 years in office. Haberman has been covering Donald Trump for the better part of 2 decades as a journalist in New York City, long before his presidency. For her latest book, Haberman interviewed hundreds of sources as well as the former president himself. Haberman writes that during Trump's time in the White House, he once floated the idea of firing his daughter Ivanka and son-in-law Jared Kushner, who served as White House advisors, in a tweet before his then chief of staff John Kelly stopped him. And coming up at 7 a.m., Maggie Haberman joins us live for the first live interview on her book. With your GMA First Look, I'm Terry Moran, ABC News.
Back here at home, the Max Center now open at Morgan's Wonderland. This past weekend was the grand opening for the Multi-Assistance Center. Visitors got to tour the new 165,000 square foot facility. It aims to be a one-stop shop to help improve the lives of individuals with disabilities and special needs. The center will offer healthcare services like vision, hearing, and dental. They also have community sports services like transportation access, education, and job training. Replacing fear with fun when it comes to driving.
Car crashes are a leading cause of death for novice teen drivers, and teens are twice as likely as adult drivers to be in a deadly crash. So comfort behind the wheel is key, and the Ford Driving Skills for Life program is offering that across the country for free. The hands-on training features 4 rotations. It includes one that teaches vehicle handling by putting teens behind the wheel of a Ford Mustang equipped with skid plates. This is so they experience spinning out and learn how to control a vehicle if it happens to them in real life. The award-winning program pairs newly licensed and teen drivers with professional instructors for the hands-on driving clinics.
This program really helps just kids understand the importance and respect of a car while doing it in a fun way, because we like to believe that fun is a great channel to learning.
So this program took place yesterday. The program partners with the Governor's Highway Safety Association and the Texas Department of Transportation.
We hope no skidding on the roads this morning. The roads are dry right now, and we're looking at Highway 90 at Zarzamora as folks are heading off to work or school, or maybe just now heading home from the overnight shift.
Back to the, sort about the... There we go.
It's coming. Hang on. Just
We're coming.
Yes.
And I'll just talk over that. Out there at Morgan's Wonderland,
yes,
the Mac Center, the mayor was there, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, and actor
Joe Mantegna.
Joe Mantegna was out there as well.
You were there as well? I was MC with Leslie Mouton?
Yes, indeed. And I mean, that place is just amazing.
It looks amazing.
Had a brief little tour out there, and just one more step that that Gordon Hartman has done to help out folks. And first it was Morgan's Wonderland, now this, and there are more things to come as well. So.
And we mentioned Leslie Mouton. She's out there now doing great things with Gordon Hartman and his entire organization.
Yes, indeed. And there's a whole bunch of people out there, and a lot of folks that watch. So hi to everybody that was out there yesterday. So there is Winston waking up for Fido's forecast. I beg to differ with you. Winston is not wide awake for that forecast yet. He's just like, leave me alone. I will watch a rerun. So anyway, thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. And anytime you see those QR codes, you can scan those. And it makes it a lot easier to download some of those KSAT Connect pictures. Beautiful start this morning. We do have some high clouds hanging around here. Those are the clouds that moved in yesterday, and they're going to be sticking around for the most part today. Now, despite that, we still have our relatively cool temperatures down a little bit below normal again, 63 in town. Of course, yesterday we started off in the upper 50s here in town. We're not going to be dropping down quite that cool this morning. 52 right now in Comfort, 55 Bernie Stage. And then throughout the day, we will keep, again, a lot of those mid-high clouds around here. We will eventually drop down to 61 degrees. So again, like I said, still on the cool side of normal. I think a lot of clouds stick around here, mid-high clouds, not completely socked in at all. We are going to make it up to 80 today at noon and then top off today at 85 degrees. Pretty close to what would be a normal average high temperature this time of year. Now, as far as the humidity is concerned, yes, these dew points are still fairly low and they are going to remain pretty comfortable today. Then we get into tomorrow, and even though, excuse me, we're still going to be on the low side, notice how this green starts to try and work its way back in here, and that's what's going to be the situation throughout the rest of the week. It's not going to be like it's going to be, wet towel sort of humidity, but it's just not going to be as refreshing to be outside, we'll put it that way, as we go into the mid and latter portion of the week. Plus, with more sunshine out there, that's going to help to warm temperatures up. There you can see some of these dew points getting up in the mid and even to some upper 60s down there along the coastal plain by about, say, midday tomorrow. So, again, more humidity comes in here as the week rolls on. Here's some of those high clouds hanging around here today, and we'll get rid of them for the most part midweek. Then they start to move back in here by Friday and then going on into the weekend. Perhaps a couple of showers scattered about, down to the southwest or so, but still in the forecast, there is nothing that has any indication of any rain period. I mean, other than a stray sprinkle here or there, scatter shot, but no decent rain chances in the forecast at all. 80, mostly cloudy skies at noon today, and then 85 for a high temperature. Now, over the next few days, we are going to continue to warm up somewhat, upper 80s, pushing at 90, a bit more humidity. It's not going to be, like I said, just wet towel sort of stuff, but just you'll notice it. If you didn't put your Halloween decorations out this weekend, with the drier air, it shan't feel like it shan't feel like Halloween when you do it this week.
Have you done it? Have you done?
Not yet.
Oh.
Okay.
Mike is behind. He had a goal of October 1st. And
I know.
Clock's ticking, Osterhage. Come on.
I'm behind this year.
Tock.
You are. All right. We'll go check on you later. 4:52, 64 degrees.
Up next, find out which movie came in last in this weekend's box office.
5 till 5. Horror once again tops the weekend box office, and Saturday Night Live makes fun of itself.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Christopher Watson.
It's smiling at me.
The horror pick Smile easily topped the weekend box office, scoring a $22 million debut. That's the biggest domestic opening in 9 weeks. Last week's number one, Don't Worry Darling, drops to second with another $7.3 million, bumping The Woman King into third in week 3.
You met a guy?
I don't think I'm his type.
Not great news for Bros. The LGBTQ plus romantic comedy debuted in fourth with a weak $4.8 million.
The show's in a rebuilding year for sure.
Saturday Night Live's season 48 premiere poked fun at its 8-member cast exodus over the summer, with guest host Miles Teller's spot-on impression of retired NFL quarterback Peyton Manning, with help from past host John Hamm, doing live commentary on the show's cold open.
What have you seen so far tonight?
I don't know, but it's not comedy.
Kendrick Lamar was the musical guest. And Queen Cersei Lannister, Game of Thrones star Lena Headey, is 49 Monday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
We are now 3 minutes till 64 degrees.
More than 80 people have died from Hurricane Ian, and thousands of people remain without power as crews scramble to rescue those still stranded by the storm. we have a way you can help here in San Antonio. That's coming up later today.
YouTube is desperate for people to subscribe to its TV service. How it's changing the way you can buy it and how it might save you some cash.
Stephen Cavazos just walked into the door of our studios. He is going to be giving us an update on the roads and let us know if any incidents have popped up for your morning commute.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
The death toll from Hurricane Ian is rising. I'm ABC's Jay O'Brien in Washington. The rescue efforts that are still underway this morning coming up.
64 degrees at 5 o'clock this morning. It's been beautiful. We had a beautiful weekend with no humidity, but Mike says that humidity is going to creep back into our forecast when we can expect it.
And good Monday morning to you. It is October 3rd.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Happy to be with you guys this Monday morning in Steph's place.
Yes, Steph's back tomorrow. Sarah is in today. Mike is here, and then we will be checking in with Stephen now that we've done the Mouseketeer roundup. Mike, good morning.
No, do the step forward like in Sound of Music, introduce yourself. So, it's still a very pleasant morning. We had that cool one yesterday. We're at 62 right now. We were actually about 4 or 5 degrees below that yesterday morning. I don't think we're going to be dropping down that cool because we do have a bit of a blanket on top of us. Got some clouds hanging around there. That bottom number, dew point, is still at 46 degrees. So that's still really, really comfortable. That's the number that's going to start to go up as we go on into the week. It's not going to be like summertime humidity, but you'll just kind of go, it's not as pleasant when you step outside, but more on that in a moment. 85 for a high temperature later on today, which is very close to the normal high temperature. We're starting off on the cool side of things. The aquifer, nice jump yesterday, up half a foot. And as far as the allergens, mold, ragweed, both on the moderate side, pigweed is low. All right, as far as cloud cover, we had those high clouds that started moving in yesterday from the Pacific Ocean, and as you can see on water vapor imagery, a lot of that moisture coming in here aloft in the atmosphere. So this is going to keep a fair amount of clouds around. It's not going to be completely socked in, but there'll be a lot of them out there, and I think that's also going to help to hold temperatures down just a couple of degrees. So mostly cloudy, pleasant this morning, pleasant and or cool, especially in the hill country with some low 50s right now. Mostly cloudy, mid 80s later on today, then more sunshine tomorrow, and especially Wednesday, and a fair amount on Thursday, and that's going to help to warm things up. We're going to be pushing at upper 80s, 90 for the middle chunk of the week. Then we go into the weekend, we'll have a lot more in the way of clouds around here. Temperatures will kind of just lean back down toward the mid 80s, but also we get right in here midweek just that hint more humidity that you will notice a little bit, especially when you head outside in the mornings. Details on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, good morning, sir. How's the weekend?
Pretty good, Mike. Got to spend some time with the folks and drove up yesterday on 37. Actually had a pretty pleasant drive there, and I think a lot of folks are going to have a pleasant drive this early in the morning. Let's get a quick look around town. Things look pretty quiet right now. 35 there at US 90, and if you get on 37 at Hackberry, just check it out. Really just 1 or 2 folks getting their morning started early with us there at 37 at Houston. Not a lot to show you on these TransGuide cameras, and that's not a bad thing if you have to head out the door in the next few moments. Same story with our map. We just see a lot of green on the screen, but before we get to that green, I have an update to a crash that popped up there off of I-10 westbound at UTSA Boulevard. Was reported from TxDOT around 3 o'clock this morning. However, I was combing through the TransGuide cameras. Didn't look like there was anything on the roadway, so that's some good news. But either way, make sure you drive carefully out there. But as I mentioned, you'll essentially have the roads to yourself at 5:03 in the morning, but always take it easy. Make sure that you plan your commute ahead of time as well as your drive times. But looks like you're really in the clear here as well. Again, as I mentioned, pretty pleasant on I-37 northbound. If you're traveling in from Pleasanton with 31 minutes at this point, about half an hour on Highway 90 eastbound coming in from Castroville, and that arrival from Lytle on 35 northbound looks to be about 17 minutes. So let's take you back to TransGuide. One last look around town, 10 at New Braunfels. Things are moving in some areas of town. Have an update to some road closures, so make sure you have your phones handy in the next few minutes. Mark, Sarah?
Thank you, Stephen. Authorities are investigating a deadly car crash that claimed the life of 19-year-old Brian Negrete. The crash happened last Sunday on Highway 90. San Antonio police say his vehicle veered off the road and slammed into a pole, splitting his car in half. The family tells KSAT he had a bright future and that he was working towards a possible career with an automaker company.
He was just a beginner driver. When it all happened, he just graduated. He wanted to work for Toyota.
The family says the investigation could take several months before they get an answer from police.
We have shown you how Kinney County Sheriff's Office, business owners and landowners are being impacted by the increase in human smuggling. Now we're continuing our coverage. The county's emergency medical services feeling the strain. Henry Garcia is the director of Kinney County Emergency Medical Services. He says they cover over 1,500 square miles with one station, one ambulance, and one crew. Crews who used to work 48-hour shifts are now on the clock for 72 hours. Garcia says that's tied directly to human smuggling. EMS responds to nearly every smuggling call.
We're pretty much met our maximum ability with the resources we have. So and I don't see an end to it.
Garcia says his worst fear is resources being tied up with a human smuggling case with no one available for a medical emergency. County commissioners have given Garcia permission to hire 3 additional EMTs to service the county, but he's having no luck in getting anyone to apply. This morning, at least 85 people in Florida and North Carolina are dead because of Hurricane Ian.
As ABC's Jay O'Brien reports, almost all of the victims were in Florida, where rescue and recovery operations are still underway.
This morning, as the death toll from Hurricane Ian rises, new images emerge showing the storm's destructive power. Helicopters from the Coast Guard and National Guard continue to conduct rescue missions. More than 2,300 people rescued from the air so far, with more saved by boat from barrier islands cut off from the mainland by the storm.
And the water just kept pounding the house, and we watched boats, houses, we watched everything just go flying by. We've lost so much at this point, so we appreciate you guys being here.
Residents already pledging to rebuild.
But it will need a complete rebuild. Electric grid, water systems. It's going to take a lot of work, but it will come back.
Further inland, the flood damage is vast. After more than 2 million people were left without power, state officials say this morning more than half have their lights back on. But along the state's southwestern coast, still reeling after a direct hit, Floridians are returning home to communities gone. And in Lee County, facing the highest death toll, new questions about why local leaders ordered an evacuation on Tuesday instead of Monday like neighboring areas. State officials, including Governor Ron DeSantis, saying the storm's track changed at the last minute.
We did what we had to do at the exact same time. I wouldn't have changed anything. And I know, being in those meetings from the very minute, this storm was very unpredictable.
President Biden is now planning to visit Florida on Wednesday to survey damage from Ian, exactly a week after the storm first made landfall. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
We hope you will help us extend a helping hand to help those touched by the devastation of Hurricane Ian. Later today, we'll be hosting a phone bank in partnership with the American Red Cross to raise money for relief efforts in Florida. The phone lines will be open from noon to 7 p.m. We'll share that phone number a little bit later on.
It's 5:08 and 64 degrees.
New twist on holiday buying. A first look at TikTok's new shopping feature.
And a special tribute to those lost in the school shooting in Uvalde. What a local artist is saying about a new Dia de los Muertos mural.
Outside with live cam, down to 64 degrees. Work week is ahead of us. Any rain over the next 7 days? Mike Osterhage has that answer coming up. Right now it's 5:11. The Healing Uvalde 21 Portrait Murals project is still underway.
Uvalde's Dia de los Muertos remembrance for the Robb Elementary victims is happening on November 2nd. Now a new mural has been added. Elizabeth Ortiz painted a Dia de los Muertos altar mural across from Alithia Ramirez's portrait. Ortiz says she painted the mural in just 3 days with the help from another artist and children in the community. She wanted this to be a children's mural that honors the 21 victims that were killed at Robb Elementary, as well as Jose Garcia and Irma Garcia's husband, who died just 2 days later.
The goal is to not forget them, to keep on honoring them and keeping their memory alive. So, that's really what I hope, that people can stroll down that alley and smile.
Ortiz says several families and friends of the victims came by as she was painting, and they were able to add their own touches to those murals.
It's now 5:12, 64 degrees.
Why Apple is unlikely to bring back a certain feature to the iPhone despite testing it.
And YouTube really wants you to buy its TV service, what it's doing now to try to get people to subscribe.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
With Mucinex All-in-One, you've got unbeatable relief from your worst cold and flu symptoms. So when you need to show your cold who's boss, grab Mucinex All-in-One and get back to your rhythm. Feel the power. Beat the symptoms fast.
Meet Febreze Small Spaces, the most convenient solution to lingering odors in any small space. No batteries and no outlets needed. With one firm push, Small Spaces gives you 45 days of continuous freshness. Easily tackle odors anywhere. Febreze Small Spaces.
Welcome back. 5:16. TikTok planning to bring a live shopping feature to the U.S. this holiday season, as ABC's Andrew Dimmer reports in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, live shopping on TikTok. The Financial Times says the feature would allow creators to host live shopping sessions on TikTok while giving brands the chance to broadcast a stream on their sites. In July, a report said TikTok had decided against the move. It looks like Touch ID won't be making a comeback on iPhones. The company has reportedly tested in-screen Touch ID and even considered adding it to the power button like some iPads, but Bloomberg says Apple is sticking with Face ID and not expected to bring back Touch ID to its phones anytime soon. And YouTube TV subscribers no longer have to go all or nothing when it comes to their channel lineup. Subscribers can now choose individual channels and services. The a la carte plan will cost at most about $5 less per month than receiving all 85 plus channels. Now, can you still get the Food Network a la carte, or is it only on Dish? Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
That one's pretty good.
Andrew Dimmer strikes again with his puns.
On an early Monday morning. 5:17 right now.
Stephen, any incidents out there? Quiet morning?
No, it's been a quiet morning. You know, Friday was a pretty busy day. We had a lot of issues on I-37. Today, it's a completely different story for a Monday morning. And listen, no one's going to complain about that because it's a great way to start the work week. As we had a look around town 35 there at Maine, you could see traffic's really getting going there, as well as US 90 there. But thankfully, there's no issues to report this early in the morning. It's essentially a ghost town out there. Even though it's spook season, you don't have to be spooked out about the roadways this early in the morning. Let's get you to the map, because what we are seeing is some quiet roadways, but I did just notice right here off the corner of my eye that there is a crash that popped up on I-35. We'll have to take a closer look near Live Oak and find out exactly what the conditions look like out there. But again, the good news is it's pretty quiet, so we really won't see any delays. But as I mentioned, you got to plan that commute ahead of time. Find out what's happening here off US 281 on the north side of San Antonio. We will see some asphalt work taking place. According to TechSAT, this is actually going to begin today in the morning, October 3rd, and wrap until October 4th, or finish on October 4th, I should say. 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon is the alternating southbound main lane closures from Wilderness Oak to Stone Oak Parkway. But I just updated that full list of the traffic closures. So as I mentioned, grab those phones, open your camera app, and you're going to scan that QR code that just popped up on your screen. That's going to take you directly to our KSAT traffic page. And if you scroll to the bottom, you'll find an updated list of the closures that are current through the month of October. So as I mentioned, plan that commute ahead of time. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah.
One of the first things a lot of people like to do in the morning is turn KSAT on and watch us here on GMSA, but also take the dog for the walk. And it's time for a forecast for that morning walk.
Yes, indeed. And really pleasant this morning. We do have a few clouds out there. Looks like Ozzy, the English Bulldog, is... well, just got a toy in his mouth. I don't know if it's like, okay, walk time or not, but yeah, nice morning. It's going to be a pleasant afternoon. We will have some clouds hanging around here. And by the way, just scan this QR code, and that's going to make it really easy to get some of these pictures on KSAT Connect. So if you stare long enough at those QR codes, is it like a Rorschach test? I was just trying to find a little picture.
Well, let's find out. What do you see in that QR code?
Let's diagnose
it'll say
Mike.
a lot about what you're not saying.
I don't know. We'll work on that. Anyway, just we've got, like I said, some clouds hanging around. It is a pleasant morning. We've got temperatures, still sweatshirt, light jacket weather. 54 Bernie Stage, 52 Comfort, and 62 out there at the airport. Converse, Randolph is at 60, same thing as Seguin right now. And again, these numbers are still dry. The dew points measure moisture in the atmosphere. That's how you figure out relative humidity. As a matter of fact, they're down just a notch compared to this time yesterday. And of course, yesterday we didn't have that cloud cover, and we had that little reinforcing shot of dry air, and that's what put us down into the upper 50s. And we're not going to be quite that cold. That was the coolest we'd been in months around here. We keep a lot of these high clouds around. They act like a little bit of a blanket. So yes, we will dip down to 61. And then make it up through the mid 70s by mid to late morning, 80 already at noon, and take it up to 85 later on this afternoon. Mid 80s, that's what you would expect this time of year. That's the normal average high temperature. So we've got a lot of these clouds. Now, this model doesn't keep a lot of them around this afternoon. I think we keep a fair amount around these high clouds hanging around here. Then they will start to kind of thin out somewhat. So we'll see more sunshine tomorrow, especially Wednesday, somewhat Thursday. Then we're going to start to see more clouds kind of come back into the picture, and that's going to be Friday and then into the weekend as well. A fair amount of clouds, maybe a couple of sprinkly showers down there, but I wouldn't get really excited about those rain chances because, again, long-range models like this tend to just kind of paint things in with a broad brush around here. So that's pretty much about it. That high is in control of our weather as of right now. We are, though, getting a lot of high cloudiness coming in here from the Pacific Ocean. That high is just going to sort of move on in and set up camp, and that's going to keep us, for the most part, cloud-free midweek, as well as push down in the atmosphere and then help to kind of heat things up around here. So, yeah, we are going to be looking at 90s by the middle portion of the week. And even after that, we're not going to see any big changes, no big fronts or anything. Looks like in the long run coming on through here. No rain chances either, unfortunately. 80 at noon, mostly cloudy skies. High temperature is going to make it up to 85 today. And again, it's pretty much those high clouds, sort of like what we had mid-afternoon yesterday. And then we'll have partly cloudy skies tomorrow. More sunshine in the middle portion of the week. And also, it is going to be just a bit more humid. Not like where you walk outside and just break out into a sweat or anything like that, but it just won't be as crisp. You know, that you'll kind of like last week. Remember we started to smell the humidity a little bit a couple of mornings? Yeah,
just a little bit.
That's what it'll be like midweek. So
we're spoiled this weekend.
Yes, and then in the afternoon it's just going to be that much more humid. So. That's much more humid.
Thank you, Mike Osterhage.
The always effervescent Mike Osterhage. 522, 64 degrees.
Up next, why Ringo Starr had to postpone some weekend shows, and a Hocus Pocus 2 star talks about returning to the screen after many years.
After many years. And you picked three numbers this morning: 960, Fireball 2, Daily 4, 7108, Fireball 7.
Cash 5, 12, 15, 18, 30, 31. Texas Lotto 14, 16, 19, 20, 32, 52. Thank you, Mike, for your assistance with the numbers here. And Powerball, this was a big one. I think about 350, 8, 21, 22, 65, 69. Powerball 26, Power Play 2. Good luck.
525, a former Beatle making entertainment headlines, as well as a former basketball star.
Here's CNN's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
I love being live. We have a great time.
Ringo Starr postponed weekend shows with his all-star band in Michigan and Minnesota due to illness. The venues announced the news on social media, saying the music legend is sick but does not have COVID.
Who are you?
Doug Jones is back as Billy Butcherson in Hocus Pocus 2, now streaming on Disney+. Jones says he's loved talking with fans of the 1993 original.
When people say, like, oh my gosh, you know, I grew up watching you flop around as Billy Butcherson, that's reminiscent of me when I watched The Wizard of Oz, and the Scarecrow character was my favorite. If I ever met Ray Bolger, I would have peed myself. So I totally am loving this, having a movie now in this day and age that can do that still.
Here's an odd musical pairing, Maroon 5 and Shaquille O'Neal. It was the finale of a star-studded celebrity gala for the Shaquille O'Neal Foundation in Las Vegas, which raised more than $3.2 million for the Boys and Girls Club and communities in schools in Vegas and Atlanta. Singing along in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
527, 64 degrees.
A serial killer may be on the loose in California. The evidence that may link 5 murders to the same suspect.
Plus, the San Antonio Food Bank shows how it's planning to get food to those affected by Hurricane Ian. 5 unprovoked murders in California in the past several months appear to be the work of one person. What police are saying about the common thread that connects the victims.
It's been beautiful weather the last couple of days. 64 degrees right now at 5:30 in the morning. But we might have humidity creeping back into our forecast. Mike will let us know when to expect it in just a bit.
Now, we didn't really want the weekend to end, did we?
No, I put up my Halloween decorations last night. It was, actually it was like earlier in the evening, so it was still warm, but it was not humid. And my husband was like, is there a cool front coming? I was like, no, this is October.
It's called October.
Welcome to fall.
Welcome to fall, and welcome to you. Good morning. It's Monday. It is October 3rd.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And Mike, that humidity, it might be creeping back in.
Well, it's not going to be like it was in the summertime.
Okay.
But, yes, it won't be as pleasant as it is right now and what we had over the weekend. Yeah, plenty of sunshine Saturday. Saturday evening was absolutely gorgeous. Yesterday morning for the sunrise, then you saw a couple of those high clouds. And then they started to kind of thicken up, especially late in the afternoon. That's what we have left over right now. 62, we're still slightly on the cool side compared to normal. That number, dew point, is still down in the 40s, and that's where you always like to see it, well down into the 40s. Temperatures around the area right now, jacket, sweatshirt weather. 54 Bernie Stage, 53 right now in Comfort, 60 over there at Randolph. And we do have moderate mold, ragweed, a little bit of pigweed showing up in the latest count. Of course, the updated count is going to be coming out later on this morning. So if you happen to be going to a pumpkin patch, because this is going to be a good day for it, since they have a little bit more cloud cover out there, makes for good pictures, I guess, what all the experts always say, instead of bright sunshine. 80 at noon, 84 at 3 o'clock. We'll top off at 85 degrees for a high temperature today. And if you want to find some of them, scan that QR code, and that'll kind of fill you in on all the where the different pumpkin patches are to get all those perfect little pictures. And while the kids are still young enough, so you can put them in matching outfits until they get bigger to fight back. So if you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to have more on the forecast the rest of the week. It is going to be getting warmer coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, anything going on, Stephen?
Well, first, I was looking at that QR code. I have it right on my phone right now, so definitely does work. Check that out. We're also watching this stalled vehicle there at 410 South at Culebra Road. Let's get a wide look at TransGuide, because we actually have a few folks out there that have their hazard lights on. Pardon me. This is, again, off on the southbound lanes along Culebra Road, or 410 near Culebra Road. You can see that, of course, that we do have possibly TxDOT Hero trucks out there working to assist those drivers. So hopefully that they get the help they need. So that way we really won't see any delays in the area. But nonetheless, make sure to move over or slow down anytime you see those flashing lights out there. Let's give you a wide look at the map, because as I mentioned, it has been quiet throughout the morning. We did have a crash that popped up off of I-35. It wasn't actually on the highway, so that's some good news. And it also looks like it's already cleared out from our map. So obviously we want to make sure everyone gets to where they need to be on time and safely. So just remember to drive safe out there and make sure you follow the rules of the road. Also, travel times here. We have that for you if you're going to be making your way into the Alamo City. Everything looks like it's in good shape, actually. I-10 westbound still pretty green from Seguin with 31 minutes at this point. A little more than half an hour if you're traveling on 87 northbound, traveling up from Lavernia with 33 minutes and 29 minutes for our friends down in Floresville. So things look like they're good, and we'll hopefully have a better update here at 410 at Culebra. Again, watch out. This is in the southbound lanes. We'll continue to watch the roads closely and have those updates on road closures in the next few minutes. Mark, Sarah?
Stephen, thank you. Now to late breaking news. A fire started purposely in a backyard pit has led to some unintended damage. It set fire to a home just northwest of downtown.
Our Katrina Weber is live on the 100 block of Thomas Jefferson Drive. That's not far from Fredericksburg Road. Katrina, is everyone safe?
Yes, firefighters tell us that there was one woman inside this home along with her 2 cats, and they all made it out safely. No firefighters hurt, but they have been quite busy here since about 4 o'clock this morning. Now, this house did have some damage on the back side. It's that white house there that you see. Firefighters tell us that the homeowner apparently had a fire in a fire pit in the backyard earlier yesterday at some point. And then the neighbor noticed that there were some embers still flaring up in there. So the neighbor tried to put them out thought he had put everything out, but then at some point later, some of the embers from that fire pit, according to firefighters, spread to some debris, a wood pile in the backyard, and then that in turn set the house on fire, the back side of the house. Some of the flames did get up into the roof and the attic space, causing some damage, but firefighters tell us that overall there is just damage to one portion of the house and that the homeowner can actually move back in if she chooses to do so, but we understand she's going to stay with family. But their job here is done in terms of the firefighting. You can see we have firefighters here now starting to wrap up some of their hoses and put them away, so it won't be long before they are able to leave here. But again, a home with some damage as a result of a fire that was purposely started in a backyard pit, and but everyone's safe this morning. Reporting live northwest of downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. New this morning, San Antonio's police chief says an SAPD officer shot a suspect after that suspect hit him with a car. It happened just before 11 last night in the 11,700 block of Blanco at West Avenue on the north side. Chief William McManus says the officer was responding to a disturbance at a McDonald's. When the officer tried to approach the suspect on foot, the chief says the suspect hit the officer in the legs with his vehicle. SAPD says the officer then started shooting at the suspect, hitting him multiple times. The suspect was taken to the hospital and underwent surgery. We don't have any information on the officer other than that officer has been on the force for about 1 year.
New this morning, a man is dead after police say he smashed his car into a parked truck overnight. It happened around 12:30 this morning at the intersection of South Pine and Alabama. That's near MLK Drive on the east side. SAPD says the man was driving too fast when he crashed into the truck. He crashed into it so hard that the truck ended up on a porch at the next door neighbor's house. Police say so far no one actually saw the crash happen. Officers are still investigating.
5:36 this morning, fears of a serial killer have residents of a Central California city on edge.
As ABC's Christine Sloan explains, police hope a surveillance image will help in their manhunt.
This morning, a California city on edge as the urgent search continues for a possible serial killer or killers.
At this time, we don't know if it's a person, 2 or 3. We just don't know.
5 men shot dead in Stockton over the past 3 months, starting in July. Police have released a surveillance photo of a person of interest. Investigators say the killings meet the FBI's definition of a serial killer. 54-year-old Renzo Lopez was one of the victims. He was a musician who sang. This is a recent video. His heartbroken brother says Renzo was homeless but was trying to get his life back together.
It's hard to process that this has happened, you know. I mean, me and my brother have been like twins. We're kids, you know. We're a year apart, so we're pretty close.
All of the victims are mostly Hispanic, men between the ages of 21 and 4. The murders in different locations, but taking place in dark areas late at night or early in the morning. And the victims were ambushed, but investigators say the killings weren't gang-related or robberies. 35-year-old Paul Alexander Yaw believed to be the first person. A statement his family says he was a good boy who grew into a good man with a big heart, adding he was always there for you if you needed him.
His mother telling ABC News she's sharing Yaw's photo in hopes it will solve the cases. Authorities are offering an $85,000 reward for information that will lead them to the killer or killers. Meantime, police are warning people in Stockton to be extra vigilant and to not walk alone. Christine, ABC News, New York.
Today marks the new term of the United States Supreme Court. Topping the docket is an affirmative action case involving minority admissions programs at Harvard and the University of North Carolina. Before her death, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said she thought the issue had been permanently settled. But like Roe v. Wade, the new conservative-leaning justices may be ready to break precedent. Some observers wonder whether more than 40 years of affirmative action precedents could be at risk. During the new term, the Supreme Court is also expected to take up major disputes on voting rights, free speech, and gay rights.
President Joe Biden is flying to Puerto Rico today to survey some of the damage left behind by Hurricane Fiona. Biden says the U.S. government will be with Puerto Rico for the long haul as it cleans up and rebuilds. The Category 1 hurricane hit on September 18th. Fiona caused catastrophic flooding, tore apart roads and bridges, and unleashed more than 100 landslides. Biden will visit amid widespread anger and frustration over continued power outages. He is also expected to announce $60 million in infrastructure funding for Puerto Rico. The Bidens plan to travel to Florida on Wednesday to survey the wreckage of Hurricane Ian.
Disney has restored its content to several markets following a dispute with Dish Satellite TV and Sling TV. Millions of Americans were without the Disney Channel, ESPN, FX, and ABC stations in 7 markets. Disney says Dish and Sling finally reached a fair market-based agreement just hours ago. Houston was one of the ABC TV markets affected by the blackout. The agreement is a temporary one, though, as the final details still need to be ironed out. 540, 63 degrees.
Well, big price drop. Nike is set to soon drop prices on some popular items. We'll tell you which ones.
And next, what the San Antonio Food Bank is doing to help people affected by Hurricane Ian and what you can do to help in a way that makes a difference.
63 degrees at 5:40 this morning. Is it going to be a nice day to go to a pumpkin patch? Michael, let us know when we come back.
543 families across Florida dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. Now the San Antonio Food Bank is trying to lend a helping hand.
Eric Cooper with the food bank joined us on Leading SA this weekend to talk about it.
Eric Cooper joined us, and we talked about a lot. We talked about how the San Antonio Food Bank is stepping up and helping out. They're going to be not only bringing volunteers to Florida, but they're going to be shipping out large trucks of food, helping families in and around Florida, all in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. We also talked about the need around the country. Eric Cooper was just at the White House. Here's what he tells us about his visit.
And really dial in with the Department of Defense. You know, San Antonio, Military City, USA, so many of our residents active or former military, and the recommendations to really investigate what the compensation looks like, and are our military families able to put food on their own table. And so I think lots of great recommendations. We have some high hopes coming off of the conversations that we'll be able to do more for families in their time of need.
You can learn more about how to donate, how to help out the efforts in Florida right now. Just head to KSAT.com. We have Leading SA every Sunday at 8 a.m. So, guys, we'll see you next Sunday. Back to you.
Thank you, Max. 544 and 63 degrees.
Cutting back flights while United is making a big move, pausing service at New York's JFK, heading into the busy holiday travel season.
In your morning consumer headlines, United Airlines is pausing service at New York's JFK airport at the end of October. The action comes just weeks after the airline threatened to pull service from the airport if the FAA did not give it additional slots. The airline says the halt in service is temporary, but won't say how long it will last. It comes as the busy winter travel season is about to begin. But United says its schedule at JFK is too small to remain competitive. United's 100 employees at Kennedy International will be transferred to nearby airports. Customers who have tickets on United involving JFK after October 29th will be rebooked.
OPEC members will consider a proposal to cut oil production by 1 million barrels a day when they meet Wednesday. OPEC, along with Moscow-led allies collectively known as OPEC Plus, are pursuing this strategy as the economic slowdown has hurt demand. A cut of 1 million barrels per day would be the most drastic reduction in oil production since the pandemic began. OPEC countries are hoping the move will help prop up falling oil prices, but the measure could hurt the global economy. Russia's invasion of Ukraine caused energy prices to soar, raising the gas prices in the U.S. and around the world.
Nike apparently has too much inventory, and that's good news for its customers. The apparel brand is cutting prices in its stores in an effort to free up shelves. Nike says its inventory levels soared 65% in North America, which is its largest market. Overall, its inventory was up 44% last quarter when compared to a year ago. Excess clothing is the main problem. Nike plans to discount the items that are now out of season. It will also move clothing to its own factory stores, promote them online, and sell more to discount stores like TJ Maxx.
5:49, we see flashing lights in one spot on TransGuide cameras.
Stephen Cavazos, what's going on?
Well, we told you about a stall in the area, and this sometimes happens. We'll see a stall reported by KSAT, and then it's upgraded to a crash. So that's what we're looking at now. It's actually a crash that was reported really just a few minutes ago, but we saw the scene out there earlier in the morning, and unfortunately, we don't have any information on the incidents or the details behind this, but of course, we always hope everyone's okay out there. Just taking a look, it does seem that we have a few first responders out there already on the scene working to clear it up, but you got to make sure that you watch out. I mentioned this is in the southbound lanes, and that's still the case right there at Ingram Road. Now, the good news is those southbound lanes of 410 look like they are still in the green, so you won't have any trouble as you just saw on that TransGuide camera, but just make sure that you watch out for the first responders. They're working to clear the scene up and make sure everyone gets to where they need to be on time and safely. Now, let's go ahead and give you a quick look of the road and the map right now. Things have just been quiet. We are talking about those road closures, and here's another one. You see it on US 90. We're talking about some sign installation that's going to take place on Wednesday. That's October 5th, and it is from 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. What you'll see out there is a single westbound main lane closure right there at Montgomery Road. So keep in mind, if you're going out toward Castroville, you'll likely see that sign installation and TxDOT trucks out there working to improve the roadways. But as always, make sure you give them plenty of time and make sure you give yourself plenty of time as well. Looks like the scene wrapped up already, so better news out here at 410 at Culebra, guys.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Looks like the Skeleton House of San Antonio may have some competition, Mike Osterhay.
Love a little friendly competition when it comes to this. Yes, indeed. Skywatcher usually posts the pictures from his neighbor's house of the skeleton. I've got one coming up a little bit later on this morning, but different neighbor around the corner getting in the skeleton act. And here we go. Ready for the rim shot here? Looks like we're in for a bona fide good time.
Yes, they are.
Thank you very much for that one.
Thanks, Oscar.
Great little picture. And don't forget, scan that QR code and makes it really easy to download all of the KSAT Connect shots. All right, we're going to be kind of moving the camera off to the right later on this morning. Should have a decent sunrise. We've got some high clouds hanging around here. 62 in town, 61 Port SA, and Randolph is at 60 right now. Low 50s Hill Country. Jacket weather again this morning. And again, we've got still relatively dry air in place, which is really nice. And that's what's allowing these temperatures to drop down. We've got that bit of a blanket on top of us. Again, the change in dew points over the past 24 hours really didn't change at all. So we had that really dry air yesterday morning, which kind of that push of dry air after humidity started coming up somewhat late last week. And so that has allowed this beautiful weather around here. Now, we did get the high clouds that came in yesterday afternoon from the Pacific Ocean, and that's what's sticking around right now. I'm going to be sticking around throughout most of the day. We'll knock down another degree or two in the next hour or so, and then make it up to 80 at noon and top off. Still plenty of clouds around here. Not completely socked in, just a lot of those mid-high clouds. Like I said, like we had yesterday afternoon, 85 high temperature later on today. And again, computer models are indicating that fairly well as far as clouds hanging around here today. This one takes it out of here a bit much. I think we still keep some around, but then by tomorrow as well as the Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to have a lot more in the way of some sunshine, just a few clouds thrown on in here. Then they come back in here by Friday and then going into the weekend. Also, what we're going to be noticing is a slight increase in humidity as we go into the middle portion of the week. It's not going to be like summertime wet towel sort of humidity, but enough to where just won't be as nice as what it is this morning. 80 today at noon, mostly cloudy skies. High temperature is going to make it up to 85. And again, a lot of those mid-high clouds hanging around here. Tomorrow we'll have some more sunshine, a lot more Wednesday and Thursday, a bit more humid going into the weekend. You notice that with the low temperature staying up in the mid 60s, although those numbers mid 80s, mid 60s. It's not far from what we'd expect this time of year. We are going to be on the warm side, right smack in the middle portion of the week, pushing at 90 both Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
Make you go,
Yeah, we're loving that friendly competition.
Oh, yeah.
And again, if you're looking for it, it's Skeleton House San Antonio. Look for them on Facebook.
And coming up next half hour, got the other.
We got the update from the family?
Other skeleton, yes.
Okay.
And we thank Oscar Carrero, Skywatcher, for being our go-between, our PR person for the skeleton situation.
The photographer.
Yes, 553, 63 degrees.
All right, let's take a look at these lotto numbers. Pick 3, 960, Fireball 2, Daily 4, 7108, Fireball 7.
And your Cash 5 numbers 12, 15, 18, 30, 31. Lotto Texas 14, 16, 19, 20, 32, 52. And Powerball 8, 21, 22, 65, 69. Powerball 26, Power Play 2.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the urgent search for survivors after Hurricane Ian. Rescue crews working to help those affected by the storm. Still, this is going to take weeks, if not years, in some of these places in Florida. We're right there on the ground, and questions growing about how do we do it better next time? Evacuation orders all the way through the communication of the forecast. Then this morning, Ukraine with another key victory, taking back a strategic transportation hub from Russia. Putin raising concerns about escalation. A top national security official will join us to discuss all of that. And those and many other stories coming right at you on GMA.
And still ahead on our next hour, KSAT investigates why a longtime member of the San Antonio Spurs staff is walking away from the team. Checking TransGuide right now. Things look good now. 410 at Culebra. And we're checking around some other roads of town. Things look really good. The roads are dry. We're in for a good week work-wise and weather-wise as well. We'll talk to Mike and Stephen coming up.
The death toll from Hurricane Ian is rising. I'm ABC's Jay O'Brien in Washington. The rescue efforts that are still underway this morning coming up.
Caught on camera, a helicopter comes crashing down into a California neighborhood. We'll tell you if anyone was hurt.
64 degrees at 6 o'clock this morning. We were spoiled this weekend with some real October weather as we started off the Halloween spooky season. What can we expect this week? Will that humidity be spooking us? Michael let us know in the forecast.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. I hope you had an awesome weekend. The weather was superb. It is Monday, October 3rd.
Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Happy to be here back on the desk with you this morning. Steph is off. Beautiful weekend.
Could not get much better than that. Mike, I was at a dog park on Saturday and tails were wagging. That included the dogs too.
Yes, indeed. We had plenty of sunshine. Saturday evening was absolutely gorgeous to be outside. Yesterday morning, really cool, upper 50s around here. Those high clouds started to move on in from the Pacific Ocean. And when you talk about humidity, it's not like it's going to be summer kind of humidity, but it just isn't going to be quite as near perfect as what it has been this weekend. And today, we've got a few high clouds hanging around here right now. 63 degrees out there at the airport, 65 Helotes, and then mid to lower 50s parts of the hill country. Pretty much everywhere, jacket's not a bad idea. And later on this afternoon, probably won't need it. We will have a lot of these high clouds. There's that moisture coming in here from the Pacific Ocean and mid upper levels of the atmosphere and the water vapor imagery. And as far as the allergens, we've got mold and ragweed both on the moderate side. The updated count's going to be coming out in about, say, an hour and a half or so. And this morning, temperatures are going to be continuing to go up in through the mid 70s by late morning, make it up to right around 80 at noon. And then we're going to be topping off later on this afternoon at 85 degrees. Again, a lot of those high clouds out there, not necessarily completely socked in, just a few more of them. It won't be quite as just Chamber of Commerce weather as what we had on Saturday. And as far as the rest of the week, a bit more humidity. Also, it is going to start to get warmer. Going to get all the numbers sorted out and then take a look ahead to the upcoming weekend in just a couple of minutes. Traffic authority, Stephen, anything big going on?
I wouldn't say so, Mike. We have entered the 6 a.m. hour with some quiet roadways, but obviously we're going to see a lot more folks out there as the morning commute does get going. As we get a look around town there, you could see that a few folks out there, not too bad, at 35 near 410, 35 at Main. And again, you can see the commute is getting going this early in the morning, but really haven't spotted any major issues. We did have that crash off of 410 near Culebra, but that just cleared out. So obviously drivers in the southbound lanes will be in the clear to drive, but just make sure you drive carefully. 37 at Houston, great shot of the Alamo Dome, but let's take you to where that crash was, because as I mentioned, it's already cleared out. The Loop 410 southbound at Ingram Road. We didn't see any buildup out there, but first responders were off in the shoulder lane for a few minutes. So you have to make sure that anytime you see those flashing lights to move over, slow down. Those are the rules of the road. Now let's give you a quick look of the map at 6:03. Really just a lot of road closures, and that's going to be the headline fine as long as it stays quiet. Good news is also travel times don't look too bad here. If you look at it, journey from Bernie, 24 minutes at this point. A little bit of a slowdown on 281 southbound traveling in from Bulverde. We see 28 minutes at this point, but that's always expected. So just pack that patience. 26 minutes on I-35. Not too awful traveling in from New Braunfels in the southbound lanes. So taking it back to Transguide 410 at Culebra, that's where that crash was located. But you see now traffic's moving without any trouble. We'll continue to watch the roads closely. And as always, make sure you do the same. Mark, Sarah.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio's police chief says an SAPD officer shot a suspect after that suspect hit the officer with a car. It happened around 10:45 last night at Blanco and West Avenue on the north side. Chief William McManus says the officer was responding to an incident at a McDonald's. When the officer tried to approach the suspect, the chief says the suspect hit the officer in the legs with his vehicle. We're told the officer then shot at the suspect, hitting him multiple times. That suspect was taken to the hospital. Right now, a man is recovering after an overnight crash. It happened just before 2 o'clock this morning on Loop 1604 in Rogers Ranch. Police tell us fire crews were able to rescue the man and pull him out of his car. He was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
This morning, we're tracking the impact of human smuggling across Kenny County. It continues to rise. The sheriff's office, business owners and landowners are feeling the pressure. The county's emergency medical services are also feeling the strain. Henry Garcia is the director of Kenny County EMS. He says they cover over 1,500 square miles with just one station, one ambulance, and one crew. Right now, crews who used to work 48-hour shifts are on the clock for 72 hours. Garcia says that's tied directly to human smuggling since EMS responds to nearly every smuggling call.
We're pretty much met our maximum ability with the resources we have. So and I don't see an end to it.
Garcia says his worst fear is resources tied up with a human smuggling case, having no one available for a medical emergency. County commissioners have given Garcia permission to hire 3 more EMTs, but he's having no luck in getting anyone to apply.
Caught on camera, just take a look at your screen, this incredible video. This is a Ring doorbell video that caught the moment a helicopter crashes into a California neighborhood. This all happening in Fresno. Amazingly, both the pilot and passenger on board were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Police say the helicopter was in the middle of a test run. There's that video. Just watch it right there as it came down. It's still unclear what exactly caused the crash.
This morning, the death toll from Hurricane Ian continues to rise. So far, at least 85 people in Florida and North Carolina were killed by that powerful storm.
So far, most of the victims were in Florida, where rescue and recovery operations are still underway. Over 2,300 people have been rescued from the air, with more saved by boat and from barrier islands cut off from the mainland by the storm. Local leaders are being questioned on their evacuation plan before Ian hit. State officials say the storm's track changed at the last minute.
We did what we had to do at the exact same time. I wouldn't have changed anything. And I know, being in those meetings from the very minute, this storm was very unpredictable.
President Biden is now planning to visit Florida Wednesday to survey damage from Ian, exactly a week after the storm first made landfall. Well, we hope you will help us extend a helping hand to those touched by the devastation of Hurricane Ian. Later today, we will be hosting a phone bank in partnership with the Red Cross to raise money for relief efforts in Florida. The phone lines will open from noon to 7 p.m. We'll share that phone number a little later on. And the Mac Center is now open at Morgan's Wonderland. Today was the grand opening for the Multi-Assistance Center. Visitors got to tour the new 165,000 square foot facility. It aims to be a one-stop shop to help improve the lives of individuals with disabilities and special needs. The Mac Center will offer healthcare services like vision, hearing, and dental. They also have community support services like transportation access, education, and job training.
Topping your morning consumer news, live shopping on TikTok. The Financial Times says the feature would allow creators to host live shopping sessions on TikTok while giving brands the chance to broadcast the stream on their sites. In July, a report said TikTok had decided against the move.
And it looks like Touch ID won't be making a comeback on the iPhone. The company has reportedly tested in-screen Touch ID and even considered adding it to the power button like some iPads, but Bloomberg says Apple is sticking with Face ID and not expected to bring back Touch ID to its iPhones anytime soon.
Darn it.
I mean, they already have my face, you know, they don't need any more of my prints.
608, 63 degrees.
All right, coming up a little later this morning on GMA, a reporter who has covered Donald Trump for almost 2 decades has written a book on the former president and what she is saying that has a lot of people buzzing this morning. She is speaking out on GMA starting at 7 a.m.
Plus, KSAT investigates a shooting at the Spurs, or rather near the Spurs practice facility. After the break, what made a former coach leave the country and why he says he may never come back.
We had perfect fall weather this weekend, especially yesterday in the morning. Right now, 63 degrees at 6:09. Will this perfect fall weather continue throughout the rest of the week? Michael, let us know when we come back. A longtime member of the San Antonio Spurs training staff walks away from the team after a scary incident of gun violence.
Athletic development coach Kelly Forbes says he fled to his home country, Canada, a day after someone shot his truck while he left the Spurs Northwest Side practice facility.
KSAT Investigates Dylan Collier spoke with Forbes about the continuing fallout from the close call.
Every time I tell it, it just brings back that emotion, you know.
Kelly Forbes says it was only a matter of time before something bad happened to someone at the intersection of Floyd Curl and Spurs Lane, a curving road and a pair of signs combining to create a partially blind turn. Forbes turned out to be that someone the evening of July 3rd after a near collision escalated within seconds into a crime scene. Forbes was just hundreds of feet from the Spurs facility. As he pulled up to Floyd Curl, his view was obstructed by 2 large signs. As Forbes pulled out,
these 2 individuals screeched through the intersection and just missed the front of my truck and came to a standstill at about 20 feet away.
After Forbes told the other driver he was driving really fast, the car's passenger got out with a gun and asked Forbes if he wanted to die.
And I said, no. And I just pressed the gas to start moving forward to get out of there. And a shot was fired. And all I heard was glass breaking and a whip right behind me. And then glass again.
Forbes called San Antonio police and then documented what had just happened to him.
I was just shot at leaving the facility.
The bullet passed just inches behind his head. Forbes said something one of the responding officers told him stuck in his mind.
I felt unsafe at that moment. It's just everything sort of that happens with gun violence in the United States. And what struck me most was what the detective said. And he said to me, this happens 38 to 40 times per week in San Antonio.
Forbes slept at the team facility and booked a flight home to Canada first thing the next day and hasn't been back. Even though he says his agreement with the Spurs went through the end of August, the team allowed him to stay away while he worked through the trauma of the shooting incident. He has since turned down the opportunity to work with a player outside the organization.
Do you think you'll ever come back to the United States?
I don't think so. I feel safer in Canada than I do the U.S. There's a lot of great things about the U.S., the NBA being one of them. But I mean, it's just... It seems like you hear about it every day now, and it's terrible.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
Spurs officials did not respond to emails seeking comment about the shooting incident or Forbes' departure from the team. According to SAPD, no one's been arrested, and the case is still active.
The large for lease sign was removed from the property after KSAT Investigates reached out for comment. The marquee remains in place, but San Antonio Development Services officials are now determining whether it is in a safe location.
Right now, it's 6:16.
Stephen Cavazos, any incidents out there?
No, but actually it's been pretty quiet as we've entered the 6 a.m. hour. Let's get a quick look around town. There's 37 at Hackberry. It's just, again, what we can expect when there's really not a lot of incidents out there. Few folks getting their morning started, quiet roadways, and obviously traffic picking up in certain areas of town. There's 10 at Fresno where traffic's coming at us, but, really not a lot to be concerned about this early in the morning. What we've been talking about are those road closures. As we take you right to the map, you see them scattered around in and around the Alamo City. You have to make sure you plan your commute ahead of time because there are those TxDOT hero trucks out there, TxDOT crews that are working to clear things up and get the roads improved for us. So let's give them a break, especially here off of I-10 over on the east side of Bexar County. This has been ongoing for quite a while. We talk about the pavement work that's been ongoing current until Friday, October 28th. So we'll see this throughout the month of October, at least this portion. It is overnight. So late night owls, early bird commuters, 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning is when you can expect to see a single main lane closure in both directions, right there from US 87 to FM 473. But I just updated the list of the current closures on our website. Perfect time to grab those phones if you're still at home. Open your camera app and tap the center of your screen. That's going to take you directly to our KSAT traffic page. Has a list of all the closures that are current throughout the month of October. So just again, make sure you plan that commute ahead of time. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
Mike, you gonna roll the magic school bus?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Your wish is my command. And stick around because we got the great skeleton picture coming up in just a couple of moments. First of all, as you're heading off to the bus this morning, we are going to be at 61 here in town, 50s in the hill country. Grab a light jacket, sweatshirt, and won't need it this afternoon. 85 degrees. I'm going to call it mostly cloudy skies. A lot of those mid-high clouds out there. We will have some sunshine, of course, thrown in. And the humidity is still comfortable this morning. It's still going to be very comfortable later on this afternoon. Here you go. And it is the ode to Hocus Pocus 2. It's just a bunch of hocus pocus, as it said, and great shot of the three witches up there. And if you've seen the movie, you know what's going on right here, too. I'm not going to really give anything away, but that's great. Great shot there. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Scan that QR code and it makes it really easy to take you to right there to upload some of the pictures for us to show. So I love that. We're going to be seeing a lot more of it. All right, we've got, like I said, a couple of clouds hanging around here. Should have a decent sunrise this morning. 63 right now, 62 Port SA, low 50s in parts of the hill country. Yesterday we hit 84, and of course we had sunshine in the morning, and then those clouds kind of moved in. That pretty much put a lid on any warming, even though it wasn't a real thick cloud cover. And we're going to be in roughly the same situation today. Mid 80s around the area, a couple of upper 80s here and there. And it just depends if there's a couple of extra holes in those clouds, but we will still stay fairly close to a normal high temperature. We will work our way up through the upper 60s into the mid 70s by mid morning and then hit 80 at noon. And a high temperature today of 85 degrees. Again, a lot of clouds, most of those mid-high clouds, but then some sunshine thrown in. All right, here's the Climate Prediction Center, and this is pretty much for next week, leaning toward this is not saying it is going to be hot, but the odds of it being on the above normal side are a little bit better, looks like, than say 50-50 here in town, and definitely on the drier side as well. Then going into the 11th through the 17th, the 8 to 14 day outlook, again, leaning toward the warm side of things, and well, once again, about a 50-50 chance leaning toward the dry side, although the Climate Prediction Center does have a bit more moisture off to the west of us. Hopefully some of that would move on in here, but still this kind of the warm, dry trend is going to continue. That's going to be the situation today, 80 at noon, mostly cloudy skies. Now temperatures will be close to normal today, but we are going to be on the warmer side the next couple of days. A bit more humidity is going to work its way into the picture as we head into the mid to latter part of the week. Temperatures about, again, 5 above normal roughly. We'll get back down to more normal readings by the weekend, both the high and low end of the scale, because we've been on the cool side of things for the past few days, including this morning. So we'll be mid 50s. Wouldn't that be nice? Mid 80s, mid 60s by the weekend.
Well, we'll be there. We're just not quite there yet for regular across the board morning temperatures.
Eventually.
Is it ever going to be regular?
Well, today is close to normal, regular.
Yeah. This weekend was
fantastic, and still had low humidity. The humidity comes back, not wet towel this week, but just enough to where you're going to kind of notice it a little more.
Subtle change.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Right now we are at 6:21 on your Monday morning.
Still ahead on GMSA, the Cowboys and Texans seem to be heading in different directions. We'll take a look at the highlights from their Week 3 matchups, and we'll get you ready for Week 4.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
With Mucinex All-in-One, you've got unbeatable relief from your worst cold and flu symptoms. So when you need to show your cold who's boss, grab Mucinex All-in-One and get back to your rhythm. Feel the power. Beat the symptoms fast.
Meet Febreze Small Spaces, the most convenient solution to lingering odors in any small space. No batteries and no outlets needed. With one firm push, Small Spaces gives you 45 days of continuous freshness. Easily tackle odors anywhere. Febreze Small Spaces.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas hosting their longtime rivals, the Washington Commanders, yesterday afternoon in Arlington. Backup quarterback Cooper Rush continued his hot streak, becoming the first Cowboys quarterback in franchise history to win each of his first 4 career starts. Cowboys cruised to victory over the Commanders. They won at 25-10 and moved to 3-1 overall in the season. Next up, they'll take on the defending champion LA Rams at SoFi Stadium. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans losing streak continues. They welcomed Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers in an NRG Stadium yesterday. LA got onto the board first, then pulled away in the second quarter with 20 points. Chargers get the win over the Texans 34-24. Next up for Houston, a divisional game against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
625 and 63 degrees.
Still ahead at 6:30, new details from the police chief as a San Antonio police officer shoots a suspect after getting hit by a car. Katrina Weber is standing by with a live report.
Take a look outside with Trans Guide. You know, it's been a quiet morning, according to Stephen Cavazos, but I can see a lot of people are starting their morning commute at 6:25 this morning. Stephen will keep us updated if any incidents pop up. We'll be right back.
This morning on GMSA, a Sunday football game in Pittsburgh takes a dark turn after the death of a fan.
Plus, we're taking a live look outside with live cam. 63 degrees at 6:29. It was beautiful this weekend. Will that perfect fall weather continue throughout the week? Michael, let us know in just a bit.
We sure hope so. Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, October 3rd.
Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Happy to be here on this Monday morning. Mike, I put up my Halloween decorations yesterday afternoon.
I'm jealous. You're ahead of me. So.
I am.
And it was great for it, too, wasn't it?
It was perfect outside.
Yeah, and overall this week is going to be very nice. It's not going to be as perfect as what it was on Saturday. Saturday was just a prize winner. Yesterday, starting off, was really nice. We had a few of those clouds kind of coming in here just after sunrise, and then more of those mid-high clouds moved on in throughout the course of the afternoon. Some of those are sticking around this morning, not completely socked in, but just enough out there. We've got 63 right now. We're still a few degrees below normal. Dew point, that number remains on the low side, so that's nice when you have that drier air in place. Low 50s in the Hill Country. Bernie Stage is now down to 52. 62 Port SA, 57 Rio Medina, and Randolph is at 60 right now. Moderate mold, moderate ragweed, low amount of pigweed. Updated count comes out in roughly an hour or so. So mostly cloudy, pleasant and or cool, depending on where you are. Jacket's a pretty good idea everywhere. Mostly cloudy this afternoon. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to be completely socked in. We will have some sunshine, but a lot of those mid-high clouds hanging around here. Mid-80s. Pretty much a normal high temperature today. Now, midweek, more sunshine, and it is going to get warmer. Also, we're going to start to see a little more humidity move back in here. Not summertime humidity, but just not as dry as what it is right now. Then coming up this weekend, we are going to have more clouds moving back in. Temperatures will drop back down into the mid-80s. So like I said, overall, a very nice week, just not as picture perfect as what we had on Saturday. All the details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Cavazos, what's going on?
Well, things are picture perfect here, Mike, on TransGuide. You can see things are moving just fine, but getting a quick look around town, I do see that there's obviously a lot more folks out there. 410 at Harry Wurzbach, you can see people are moving right now, and really no trouble has been reported from these shots at TransGuide. However, in the last few moments, looks like a crash popped up right there. You see it on the map, that red icon off of 35 southbound, and that's actually at George Beach Boulevard. What I want to try to do is something a little bit different, see if we can actually zoom in on that crash, because you can see there, 35, that area is where it meets 410. Actually, it's a pretty busy spot, and this is actually, again, in the southbound lanes right there, again, at George C. Beach Boulevard, George C. Beach, I should say. We're going to watch this area closely. I have to get our friends at TransGuide on the phone to find out if they have any cameras in the area that can give us a view of the conditions. But we can see, again, we already also are detecting a little bit of a buildup there along 410 going north. So just watch out there. But taking you back to the TransGuide cameras, 30 things are fine at 35 at Main. Obviously getting busier, but we'll watch the roads closely, and we'll have updates on that crash that was just reported in the next few minutes. Mark, Sarah?
Thank you, Stephen. A San Antonio police officer says he had to use his gun on a man who hit him with a car.
The shooting happened outside a McDonald's restaurant near Blanco Road and West Avenue.
Katrina Weber is there with a live report. Where is that man now, and what happened to the officer, Katrina?
Well, Police Chief William McManus spoke to news crews here late last night. He said that the man who was shot was in surgery at that time, so it appears he's still in the hospital right now. As for the officer, it did not appear that he was badly hurt, and the chief says he will be on administrative duty for the time being. Now, the chief did point out that this is all still under investigation, but he says the way it appears now, that officer was at this McDonald's at Blanco and West Avenue for a different call after 10:30 last night, when for some reason a car caught his attention. The chief says that the officer tried to talk to the driver, but the driver tried to take off, and he hit the officer on his leg with his car in the process. Now, they say the officer then pulled out his gun and fired, hitting the driver several times. But just a little while ago, I talked to a man who lives in the area. He says he heard what sounded like 10 to 15 shots. And again, the man who was shot is in the hospital after undergoing surgery. The officer who was hit by the car, not badly hurt as far as we know, and the chief says he will be on administrative duty during this investigation and until it is complete. Reporting live on the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. A man is dead this morning after a crash on the city's east side. It happened around 12:30 this morning at South Pine in Alabama, not too far from South Hackberry. That's where police say a man crashed his vehicle into a parked truck. He died at the scene.
Authorities are investigating a deadly car crash that killed a 19-year-old. It happened last Sunday on Highway 90. San Antonio police say Brian Negrete's car veered off the road and slammed into a pole. His family tells KSAT he had a bright future and was working towards a possible career with an automaker company.
He was just a beginner driver when it all happened. He just graduated. He wanted to work for Toyota.
The family says an investigation could take several months before they get any answers from police.
Some of our top stories this morning. A woman accused of recruiting migrants from Texas to fly to Martha's Vineyard has been officially identified as Perla Huerta. Back in September, KSAT reported the League of United Latin American Citizens, or LULAC, offered a $5,000 reward for more information on a woman named Perla. Last month, about 50 Venezuelan migrants were flown from Texas to Massachusetts using Florida taxpayer money. New York Times says Huerta is a former combat medic and counterintelligence agent recently discharged after 2 decades in the U.S. Army. One migrant says the woman offered him food, clothing, and money in exchange to find others willing to fly to Massachusetts. In June, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis set aside $12 million to transport unauthorized migrants out of the Sunshine State. But shortly afterwards, the money was being used here in San Antonio to round up asylum seekers.
3 U.S. postal workers were arrested in a $1.3 million fraud and identity theft scheme. The Justice Department is accusing the postal employees and a civilian accomplice of stealing credit cards in the mail. The DOJ says the credit cards were used at high-end retail stores in New York and in New Jersey. The DOJ believes 5 other individuals involved in the scheme haven't been caught. The suspects could get long prison sentences if found guilty.
Pittsburgh police detectives investigating the death of a football fan after the Steelers game this weekend. The man died apparently after falling off an escalator at the stadium just after the game against the Jets. Paramedics worked to save the man on site. He was taken to a local hospital in critical condition, but later died from his injuries. This morning, fears of a serial killer have residents of one California city on edge.
As ABC's Christine Sloan explains, police hope a surveillance image will help them in the manhunt.
This morning, a California city on edge as the urgent search continues for a possible serial killer or killers.
At this time, we don't know if it's a person, 2 or 3. We just don't know.
5 men shot dead in Stockton over the past 3 months, starting in July. Police have released a surveillance photo of a person of interest. Investigators say the killings meet the FBI's definition of a serial killer. 54-year-old Renzo Lopez was one of the victims. He was a musician who sang about violence on the streets of Stockton. This is a recent video. His heartbroken brother says Renzo was homeless but was trying to get his life back together.
It's hard to process that this has happened, you know. I mean, me and my brother have been like twins since we were kids, you know. We're a year apart, so we're pretty close.
All of the victims are mostly Hispanic, men between the ages of 21 and 54. The murders in different locations, but taking place in dark areas late at night or early in the morning. And the victims were all ambushed, but investigators say the killings weren't gang-related or robberies. 35-year-old Paul Alexander Yaw believed to be the first person killed. In a statement, his family says he was a good boy who grew into a good man with a big heart, adding he was always there for you if you needed him.
His mother telling ABC News she's sharing Yaw's photo in hopes it will solve the cases. Authorities are offering an $85,000 reward for information that will lead them to the killer or killers. Meantime, police are warning people in Stockton to be extra vigilant and to not walk alone. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
Back here at home in San Antonio, 638, 63 degrees.
Are you looking to land your dream job? After the break, the questions you should always ask any employer that will help you get hired.
Eric Cooper joined us, and we talked about a lot. We talked about how the San Antonio Food Bank is stepping up and helping out. They're going to be not only bringing volunteers to Florida, but they're going to be shipping out large trucks of food, helping families in and around Florida, all in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. We also talked about the need around the country. Eric Cooper was just at the White House. Here's what he tells us about his visit.
And really dial in with the Department of Defense. You know, San Antonio, military city, USA, so many of our residents active or former military, and the recommendations to really investigate what the compensation looks like, and are our military families able to put food on their own table. And so I think lots of great recommendations. We have some high hopes coming off of the conversations that we'll be able to do more for families in their time of need.
You can learn more about how to donate, how to help out the efforts in Florida right now. Just head to KSAT.com. We have Leading SA every Sunday at 8 a.m. So, guys, we'll see you next Sunday. Back to you.
Thank you, Max. Well, 1 in 5 people are likely to switch their jobs this year. A typical job interview lasts around 45 minutes. You only have 7 seconds to make a good first impression.
It's a lot of pressure, and the questions you ask during the interview may just get you hired. Instead of asking about the potential workload and tasks for the position, ask the interviewer, what could be done in the first year of hiring me that would amaze you? This question gives you the opportunity to showcase the skills you have that can accomplish that.
Oh, that's a good one. Another question, what is the potential growth for this role? It shows you're eager to grow within the company.
And some other questions include, what is the company work culture like? Describe the best person you've ever had in this job, and what is your favorite part of the job?
Also, what are the next steps of the hiring process? Are there any concerns with hiring me? This question may seem risky. Yes, very risky, but it gives you the chance to clarify any misconceptions.
I don't think I could ask that question. All right, and experts say candidates should never ask about pay, time off, or benefits during the first interview. Wait until later in the hiring process.
In case you missed any of these questions, we will have them posted later this morning on KSAT.com. And good luck.
Good luck. Someone who always makes a great impression in the first 7 seconds, Stephen Cavazos. Any incidents out there?
Well, I would hope so. And you know what? Maybe there are some folks out there getting ready to head to a job interview. At this point, you have time to grab a cup of coffee. Let's get a quick look around town. You can see 10 at Fresno. It's getting busy out there, and that's always expected. It's morning rush hour, 410 there at Cherry Ridge. You can see traffic's coming at us, but things are moving along just fine. But be on the lookout. We talked about this crash here off of I-35 southbound right there at George Beach Avenue. The good news is, although it's a pretty busy area where 35 and 410 meet, we're not seeing a delay in those southbound lanes. So if you are traveling in the area, just watch out for those flashing lights. Make sure you give them plenty of room to move over or slow down. Now, while we're at it, we'll give you a quick look at the map. You see just what we've really been talking about are some road closures, and just noticing a little bit of a slowdown on Highway 90 before we get to some information, because that's always expected. We always see that slowdown whereas US 90 and 1604 meet, and that is because the commute is getting going. But as I mentioned, the big topic has been road closures. Here's just a quick reminder. According to TxDOT, 281 over here on the north side of San Antonio, we'll see some asphalt work take place. It begins today and should wrap tomorrow, Tuesday, October 4th. Keep in mind, it is 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. That's when you'll see alternating southbound main lane closures from Wilderness Oak to Stone Oak Parkway. But let's take it back to TransGuide. Things have been moving just fine, and you can see there that it is getting a little bit busy at 37 at Hackberry. And hey, quick mention, my nephew, Drew, just turned 7 today, so I just want to give him a quick birthday shout out.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, October 3rd, so it's not just National Mean Girl Day, it's also my nephew's birthday. He is a big fan of KSAT. There's him right there on this TV screen, watches every single morning, so just wanted to wish him a very happy birthday from his Uncle Jay. And there he is watching KSAT, our winter weather coverage, actually, just to stay informed. So just again, happy birthday, Drew. We love you.
Happy birthday, Drew.
Drew, yes, thank you for watching.
Your number one fan, Stephen. That's
yes,
precious.
Definitely is.
Your uncle is very proud of you.
He's really cool, too.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Hey, I got to participate in something yesterday that was really, really special. It was the grand opening of the Mac Center over there right across the street from Morgan's Wonderland, which is part of Morgan's Wonderland. It is the Multi-Assistance Center, and there were a couple of hundred people out there. We still had some sunshine. It was getting a little bit warm, but it was just a wonderful, wonderful day, and I got to MC it along with Leslie Mouton, and there were a lot of celebrities out there. This is actor Joe Mantegna, and of course Morgan. This is right inside the main lobby right there. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick was out there, Mayor Ron Nirenberg, and this is the same sculptor that did this bronze sculpture right there of Morgan, that the hands with the butterfly at Morgan's Wonderland, the same sculptor, and behind that QR code, there's a shot because she's always waving to everybody. And this is a great facility because it's kind of, best way to put it, one-stop shopping. For folks with special needs, medical, they can get a haircut there, any sort of appointments, things like that. Even legal services are going to be there, and legal advice. So it is, because it can be logistically very difficult, as it was explained to me, someone that may be in a motorized wheelchair, to get them loaded into a vehicle, to get them taken out. So this way, instead of making all these different stops and appointments around, under one roof right there, huge place. So fantastic. It was a great celebration out there yesterday, and I was really privileged to be a part of that. So thank you very much for that. And if you want to send in more KSAT Connect pictures, obviously you can scan some of those QR codes out there. All right, as you can see, we don't have quite the spectacular sunrise this morning, just because got some clouds hanging around here. These are the high clouds that moved in here yesterday, and they will be sticking around pretty much throughout a good chunk of the day. 63 right now, so that's acting like a little bit of a blanket. We still have very dry air in place, but we're not going to get as cool as yesterday's upper 50s just because of that slight blanket of clouds, although we do have some low 50s, of course, in portions of the hill country. We will bottom out when it's all said and done at 61 degrees and keep some of those mid-high level clouds around here. We'll make it up through the mid 60s throughout mid-morning, 80 at noon, and 85 for a high temperature. If you want to go pumpkin patches, pictures, great day for it because you got some of those clouds. So yeah, you don't have those bright spots in the pictures, and good light saturation, as all the expert photographers always say. Here's the water vapor imagery, and you can see all this moisture with these mid-high level clouds coming in here from the Pacific Ocean. That's going to be, like I said, the situation throughout the rest of the day today, which is what computer models are pretty much indicating, that we keep a fair amount of these clouds around, a few breaks here and there, a lot of them especially down to the south. Then more sunshine the next couple of days, and then the clouds are going to start to work their way back in here as we head in toward Friday and the weekend. You know, these long-range models tend to kind of broad brush things. If there's a speck of rain or two down to the south, yeah, that'd be fantastic, but I wouldn't count on anything as far as any rain, not only it looks like this week, but even going way down the road into next week. 80, mostly cloudy skies at noon today, and then a high temperature is going to make it up to 85 with mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, we will see more sunshine, middle of the week, and that's going to help to heat things up. They're going to be right around 90 Wednesday, Thursday, and slightly more humidity, so you'll feel that 90. It's not going to be, you know, that hit you in the face kind of humidity, but just a bit more. Not as nice as what it was over the weekend.
And a recap for the coming weekend, is that quite a bit of cloud cover, or does sun win the battle?
Fair amount of cloud cover, I think, coming in this weekend as well. You know, a couple of peaks of sunshine right here. So.
Well, as it's reflected, that helps with the temperatures as well.
It does. So things will at least go down to normal readings again. So that's going to be about normal this weekend, mid-80s, mid-60s.
Well, Sarah would say, we crave normal around here. 6:50, 64 degrees on your Monday morning.
All right, how much do you know about breast cancer? Tomorrow on GMSA, we will rule out some common myths.
Taking a live look outside with the show's almost over already. I just blinked.
It's 6:50, Mark.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yep. We've ordered up a live cam. There it is. We've got some of those clouds out there changing the whole look of this morning's sunrise. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the urgent search for survivors after Hurricane Ian. Rescue crews working to help those affected by the storm. Still, this is going to take weeks, if not years, in some of these places in Florida. We're right there on the ground, and questions growing about how do we do it better next time? Evacuation orders all the way through the communication of the forecast. Then this morning, Ukraine with another key victory, taking back a strategic transportation hub from Russia. Putin raising concerns about escalation. A top national security official will join us to discuss all of that. And those and many other stories coming right at you on GMA.
Well, today on GMSA at 9, a local healthcare nonprofit is fighting hunger and food insecurity by installing mini food pantries across our city.
Tiffany Huertas is going to share how this project could help families even more as we approach the holiday season. That story today on GMSA at 9.
One more check-in with traffic with Stephen Cavazos before you head out the door.
Getting busy, guys. 6:55, it's expected. Let's get a quick look at the TransGuide cameras. We have it on rotation there. You can see 37 at Houston. Things are moving, but be on the lookout. We do have one crash still reported, and it's lingering around there on our map. 35 southbound at George Beach Avenue, right where 410 also meets. So watch out if you are traveling in the southbound lanes. But quick wide look at the map. You can see that slowdowns are expected, especially traveling east on Highway 90 into the Alamo City, Mike.
Thank you, sir. Boy, this is definitely an October sunrise. Look at that. That's absolutely gorgeous out there. A lot of mid-high clouds. They'll be sticking around throughout a good chunk of the day. We'll have some sunshine thrown in. 62 right now, 52 comfort. Grab a jacket before you head out, and then 85 for a high temperature later on this afternoon. We will see more sunshine as the week rolls on, especially in the middle part of the week. Temperatures are also going to be going up, and we'll start to see just a bit more humidity middle part of the week going into the weekend, and then the clouds are going to start to work their way back in here, and we'll actually just be back up to normal low temperatures by the end of the week and back down to normal highs by the weekend, because we are on the cool side as of right now. But speaking of cool looking, I love that picture.
That sunrise behind you there, Mike, is absolutely spooky and October-like for sure.
Love the colors in that picture. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thanks for watching.
Mother Nature for that.
We'll see you back here, GMSA at 9.
Good morning.